Welcome to Art with Kenneth here on the KJL Podcast Channel. I'm your host, Kenneth J. Lewis Sr., and today you're watching part one of a new piece titled The Lady in the Hat 2. I'm grateful, truly grateful that you're here. Whether you've been following my journey for years or maybe you just stumbled onto this video by chance, I want to thank you. Thank you for taking a moment out of your day to witness something being created from the ground up. Today's episode is a little different. You're watching me paint, but I'm not going to explain every color or brush stroke. This isn't a tutorial. This is a window into the process. So I'm just going to talk with you about art, about how I work, about what it means to create in a way that's honest and free. Let's start here. I like to keep things loose. I like to let the canvas breathe. There's something beautiful about not trying to control every square inch. About letting the color do what it has to do, letting the lines blur, stretch, even like disappear sometimes, especially with portraits and figurative work. I believe in blocking in colors early, getting a feel for the shape, the presence, the energy of the figure. It's not about capturing someone perfectly. It's about capturing something that's true to me, something that I feel. Perfection to me is overrated and underrated at the same time. What I care about is authenticity. I want a painting to breathe. I want it to have a heartbeat. Sometimes I sketch the image out first just to get my bearings. Other times I just go straight into the painting, no map, no measurements, just feeling, just movement. That's how I know I'm in the right space. And when I work in oil, I also start with the acrylic base layer. Acrylic lets me work more quickly, lay down some energy and build that underpainting. Then I come in with the oils. It slows me down a bit and starts to give me a little bit more depth and that richness that only oil can truly give you. It's kind of like layering, like building music, starting with a beat and then layering it in like a melody, harmony, and rhythm. And I'll say this, while I love doing commissions, I don't take on a lot of portrait commissions unless the client really understands what they're getting. This isn't photorealism. This is me. This is my voice in paint. If someone comes to me expecting a mirror image of a photograph, I'm probably not the right fit. But if they want something that captures a person's spirit, if they want something that feels lived in, something that has soul, something with a little chaos and color and truth, then I'm all in. I didn't start painting until I was 47. That's not something you hear often in the art world. No formal training, no rules handed down from institutions. Everything you see me do, I had to teach myself from scratch. And that's made me sort of fearless in a way, because I never had anyone telling me what not to do. And that fearlessness, it's in my brushwork. It's in the way I push color. It's in the way I let a face dissolve in the shadow or let a body blend into the background. It's not about hiding flaws. It's about accepting them as a part of the story. This piece, The Lady in the Hat, is part of that story. She's elegant but rigid. She's got presence. She's got confidence. But she's not perfect, and that's what makes her so beautiful. And as I work through this first layer, I'm thinking about shape and weight. I'm thinking about gesture, but I'm also just feeling it, listening to the paint, letting her reveal herself little by little. There's no pressure in this space, only possibility at this point. That's the energy I bring to every piece, whether I'm working on a large canvas, a small commission, or something totally abstract. I don't want to be boxed in. I want to stay open to experimentation, to intuition, to surprise. And maybe that's something you can take with you, not just in painting, but in life. It's okay to work loose. It's okay not to know exactly how something will turn out. It's okay to start messy, because sometimes the most beautiful things are born right there in the middle of the uncertainty. So as you watch me block in the shapes, build the background, and find the rhythm, know that you're watching more than just a painting. You're watching a mindset. You're watching a process that's taken years to trust. And I hope wherever you are, whatever you're working on, that you feel inspired to trust your process too. Now let's take a quick pause. You're watching Art with Kenneth on the KJL Podcast Channel, and this is part 1 of Lady in the Hat. And I'll be right back.
You're watching KJL Podcast Channel, home of Art with Kenneth, where he paints live, share techniques, and talks all things art. The Art History Show, highlighting legendary artists from the past and their lasting impact. The Muse Unveiled Show experience, where real people become timeless works of art. Don't miss the gallery and museum tour show, taking you through inspiring exhibitions and creative spaces across the country. Join us monthly for coffee, tea, paint and sip, a relaxed, hands-on event at the KJL Art Sanctuary. Commissioned accepted, and now is the perfect time to begin your journey as a collector. Want to support the channel? Tap the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Plan your visit to the KJL Art Sanctuary Gallery and Studio at 310 4th Street, Ewing, New Jersey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the KJL Podcast Channel, where art dwells, breathes, and inspires. Now back to the show.
You know, one thing I've grown to love about painting is layering, not just in technique, but in feeling. The act of putting one stroke on top of another, it's spiritual to me. I'm not trying to make every edge clean or every line perfect. I want the painting to feel like a journey and not a product. Sometimes the first layer speaks the loudest. Sometimes it needs to be buried under 5 others before the truth starts coming through. I like when the viewer can feel the layers, see that there was a decision made, a change, a moment, a doubt, a moment of certainty. That's where the soul of the work really is, in those layers of choice. When I paint like this, especially when the canvas is big and the energy is flowing, I try not to overthink it. There's a rhythm in the mess, a beauty in not knowing exactly where the brush is going to land. And sometimes too much detail can kill the spirit. It tightens the work up, makes it too neat, too calculated. I want my paintings to breathe, to feel alive, like something's still moving inside them, even when they're finished. So I stop just short of polish. I leave a little rawness, a suggestion of something unresolved. Because for me, that's real life. That's where the visceral expression lives. In the flaws, in the looseness, in the parts that look like they might fall apart if you stare too much. I always say I don't paint for perfection. I paint for presence. And that's what I hope people feel when they watch me work. Like they're witnessing presence, not performance. So as the brush keeps moving and the piece keeps evolving, just know this is all part of the dance, all part of the letting go. All right, we've come to the end of part 1 of The Lady in the Hat. I appreciate you being here, not just watching, but feeling this process with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and check out my website, KJLArtSanctuary.com. I update it with new work regularly, and my exhibition schedule is always posted there. And remember, stay visionary, stay open, and always dig deeper. Thank you for joining me today on the KJL Podcast Channel. Your time, support, and creativity mean the world to me. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps keep this artistic journey alive and thriving. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a brushstroke, story, or inspiring moment. Your encouragement fuels the art, podcast, and everything we create together. Stay inspired, stay curious, and remember, every masterpiece begins with a single brushstroke. Until next time, this is Kenneth J. Lewis Sr. signing off from the KJL Podcast Channel. See you soon.